Hello everyone, welcome to my channel, The Legit Astrologer. My name is Rajat Kapoor. Today in this video, I'm going to talk about the transit of Sun, that is Surya. Sun has already made a transit in the sign of Taurus on 15th of May, and it is going to stay in the sign of Taurus till 15th of June. So this transit is about 31 days long, okay, and I'm going to talk about how this transit is going to have an impact in general. So the first few minutes would be about Sun, how this transit is playing a role, what are the key messages of this transit for all of us, how does it have an impact, what are certain signs that are getting activated, what are those houses or signs that are going to deliver positive results, and then I'm going to talk about each ascendant sign in terms of how this transit will have an impact on either your ascendant sign or your moon sign, okay? And if you're new to my channel, please subscribe to it, like my videos and hit the bell icon so that you can be updated in terms of the new videos that are upcoming, okay? So let's talk about Sun first. What does Sun really represent? Surya, he is the king of all grahas. Sun is the significator, is the karaka for the soul. Sun represents soul. Sun represents the father or father figure. Sun also represents dharma, or it represents religion. It is the significator of the first house of the Kalpurusha Kundli, which means it represents, it indicates yourself. Sun is also the karaka for immunity, because Sun is the giver of life. Sun is the only graha that emits its own natural light, and all the grahas illuminate due to the light of the Sun, okay? If there is no light, there will be no life on earth. Sun is also an important graha because it is related to initiation, it is related to resources. So anything new that is to be created, any resources that we need to do anything, are all represented by Sun. This is the planet that gives us all the resources we need to do our jobs, to carry out our work, and to live the life. Such is its importance. So quite certainly the most important graha of them all, the king of all planets, Sun. Interesting fact that Sun is related to the Trinity. That means Brahma, Vishnu, and Mahesha, that is Shiva, okay? So these are the deities associated to Sun, and there is also a female deity which is associated to Sun, and that is Gayatri. Therefore the Gayatri mantra is very closely related to the Sun. Another interesting fact about Sun is that Sun is very consistent in what he does, okay? So when it comes to the sunrise time and the sunset time, every day has a set time. It cannot be even a minute here and there. Similarly, its transits are also pretty much fixed and accurate in place, and that is something which Sun demands as well. Sun demands consistency from all of us. People who have weak Sun in their chart, they lack consistency, and those who have a strong Sun in their chart, they're quite consistent in terms of the things that they do. This is also one of the remedy for a weak or afflicted Sun, is to stay consistent in terms of what you do, rise up early. That is primarily a very good common remedy for all the people, okay? Now let's talk about what's happening in this transit. Sun is the natural ruler of the 5th house, which is the sign of Leo of the Kalpurusha Kundli, and it is making a transit in the 2nd house. What does the sign Leo and the 5th house really represent, really indicate? 5th house is the house of future, therefore it is also the house of children. 5th house is the throne, it is the Rajya Bhava. This is where the king sits, this is where the government sits, okay? So this really represents throne, okay? And this is the comfort space of the king, which is Sun. Now the lord of the 5th house, which is the lord of future, children, speculation, kingdom, or the throne, has gone into the 2nd house. 2nd house of family, 2nd house of your speech, house where you feed yourself, 2nd house of wealth, income, and savings. this is where Sun has gone. So what is the key message of this transit? The key message of this transit is that it is time to put your future savings into account. Savings in terms of that which will help you have a secured life for your family. Okay, so this is a Dhan Yoga in transit, which the Sun is creating quite naturally because the fifth lord has gone into the second house. This is also called one of the Lakshmi Yogas. Okay, so your future planning needs to be taken into account in terms of financial savings, in terms of investment, in terms of future for your children, for your family, and how you would like to live your life. Now, another interesting fact is that on the day of transit, on the time of transit, when I make the chart, which you can see here as well, it is Cancer rising. Okay, Cancer rising is the ascendant, so Sun becomes the second lord. On the time of the transit, the second lord is making a transit in the 11th house. This is also a Dhan Yoga, which it is creating. Okay, which means there is a significant focus over the next 30 days for people to manage their finances and look at aspects of gains and savings and income and all possessions that they can have. Okay, now one of the things which is very auspicious about this transit, so for the last 1 month or so, Sun was suffering the malefic influence of Rahu and Saturn. Sun was transiting through its sign of exaltation, which is the sign of Aries, where Sun is quite powerful usually. However, there was a malefic influence since it was conjoined Rahu, and it was also being aspected by Saturn from its third aspect, because Saturn is in the sign of Aquarius. Okay, so therefore Sun is not able to perform at its optimum. Now Sun is in more of a happy space, though sign of Taurus is not the best sign for Sun. It is not a friendly sign for Sun. But then if you look at this chart, Sun is surrounded by benefic planets in both the adjacent houses. There is Mercury and Jupiter in the sign of Aries, and there is Venus in the sign of Gemini. And these planets are creating a Shubh kartari yoga for Sun, okay, which is quite benefic. Also, Sun has no malefic influence or aspect most of the time during this transit, and till about the end of this month, the Shubh kartari yoga is pretty much active. Okay, so this means this time period is very fruitful for ensuring that you have your resources in place, your initiation in place, anything new that you would like to start, in terms of work, in terms of job, or certain important decisions that you were to make in life. So this is quite an excellent and an auspicious time where Sun is in a very much positive state, and the ruler of the sign Taurus, that is Venus, is also having a positive transit in the friendly sign of Gemini. On the day of transit, there is also a beautiful yoga that is being formed, and this yoga is formed for the next 15-16 days, which is called ubhacchari yoga. Ubhacchari yoga is formed, it's a very important solar yoga. Okay, it is formed when there are benefic planets, the previous house to where Sun is transiting and the next house. Both the houses should have benefic planets, and that is the case pretty much here. So this is causing an ubhacchari yoga, which is a very auspicious and a powerful solar yoga. What does this yoga indicate? This is the yoga for skills, for economic prosperity, for financial strength, for resourcefulness, because this is what Sun indicates as well. This yoga is also quite excellent for speaking and oration related activities, because there is a certain command in communication that people are likely to have if you leverage your communication during this time, because Mercury is also going direct on the same day in the sign of Aries where Sun gets exalted. So for all communication activities and having that command in what you say, this is quite an auspicious time. Now through this transit, Sun is going to move through 3 different nakshatras. Currently, Sun is transiting in its own nakshatra of Kritika, and it is there in Kritika nakshatra till 25th of May. On 25th of May, it will make a transit to Rohini nakshatra, which is lorded by moon, and it is going to stay in Rohini Nakshatra till 8th of June. And on the 8th of June, it will make a transit in Mrigashira Nakshatra, which is ruled by Mars, and it will stay in Mrigashira Nakshatra for the remainder part of this transit. Okay, so what does this really indicate? Okay, so once it transits in Rohini Nakshatra and moves through Mrigashira Nakshatra, this is activating the second cycle. I have mentioned this in one of my previous videos as well, that over the next 30 days, there is a very strong positive time to put your focus on your financial resources and your family. Okay, your savings, your income, possessions, and your time towards family. Now this sun is making a 7th aspect on the sign of Scorpio. 7th aspect is the aspect of desire, and this is the 100% aspect of sun. Okay, so what does sun really want during this time period? What is it desire? Scorpio, the natural 8th sign, sun desires transformation during this time. It desires change. Okay, it desires to invest our time in our health, in recovering from any kind of debts that we might have, or avoiding any kind of debts that we might get into. This sun also desires that we learn hidden knowledge, try and understand the secrets of hidden knowledge, such as occult, mysticism, Jyotish for an example. Sun in this transit also desires research. It desires to learn and get familiarized with other cultures, with people from other cultures and other unknown distant lands, and bringing them together. When sun is transiting the sign of Taurus, it is Ariman Aditya. Okay, and Ariman means life partner, it means companion or a close friend. So this is a time to make the best of support that you have with regards to your life partner or a close friend or a companion. Okay, so as I mentioned earlier, during this transit, sun is going to move through 3 nakshatra. Currently, sun is transiting in Kritika Nakshatra, which is its own nakshatra. Sun rules Kritika Nakshatra. Then it's going to move in Rohini Nakshatra, and later it's going to move in Mrigashira Nakshatra. So this is going to be the sun's transit. Now let's pay attention to the houses that are likely to deliver positive results, or the signs that are likely to deliver positive results. So here I have used the nakshatra based techniques because nakshatras play a very important role in terms of activation of certain houses during the transit and during the time periods as well. So these signs are Aries, Taurus and Capricorn. Okay, because these are the signs where sun gets exalted in the sign of Aries, moon gets exalted in the sign of Taurus, and Mars gets exalted in the sign of Capricorn. So what is the message that this combination is giving us? The message is, the wider message for the universe is that this is time for self-care, this is time for family care, and this is time for work and action. So it is for yourself, for your family, and for your work. So the whole month should revolve around these 3 things. So if you put your focus here and try to balance your work and family life, this can be an extremely beneficial time period for you. Now, before I talk about the various signs and how it is going to have an impact, basic principle that I always say: if sun is playing a role in your ongoing mahadasha, antardasha or pratyanter dasha, you are likely to have the maximum impact of this transit. If sun is connected to your important houses, or if it is well placed in your chart, or if you have prominent planets in the sign of Taurus, in the sign of Leo, in the sign of Aries, in the sign of Capricorn, or in the sign of Scorpio, and if you're going through the mahadasha of any of these planets, then you're likely to be impacted by this transit. And in general, because sun is the karaka of initiation, is the karaka for resources, it is the karaka for new beginnings. So in general, it is going to impact everyone in some way or the other. For some, it will have a higher impact. For some, it will have a moderate to very limited impact. Now let's talk about the first sign, the sign of Aries, and how sun's transit in the sign of Taurus is going to have an impact. For Aries sign, the rising sign, ascendant, or the moon sign. You can see the chart here for reference. Wherever you see a plus sign, that means those houses are likely to deliver positive results. The houses which are active, and what does the aspect of sun really means for you. Okay, so sun is your fifth lord. Your fifth lord is making a transit in the second house. The lord of future, the lord of kingdom, Rajya, your mantra bhava, the house of children, the house of future planning, speculation, creativity, is now making a transit in your second house of income, possessions, family, savings, and investment. Okay, so this is a dhan yoga in transit which sun is creating. From the second house, sun is going to aspect the eighth house. What does sun desire there? Sun desires transformation. Sun desires change. It desires some sort of uncertainty as well. You might have to work in a bit of an ambiguous environment. So please ensure that you're flexible, you're open and receptive to the change or the transformation that you might experience during this transit. Sun also desires that you learn hidden knowledge. Sun demands that you do some research to uncover certain questions from your past. Now, this is also a time to plan your savings, to manage your finances, to manage your investments, to expand your portfolio. So put your minds into action in terms of managing your finances, because if you're able to put your energies there, you will have a lot of resources throughout the year. One of the things that Aries need to be mindful of is their speech. Please ensure that you speak softly, you maintain a calm voice. Okay, for this, have plenty of water throughout the day. Have at least 5 to 6 liters of water. This will help you to balance the fire and water energies and stay calm and composed. Now, the houses that are going to deliver positive results in your chart is the first house, second house, and 10th house. So quite similarly, what I had explained just a while ago, this is a time for self-care, care towards your family and your work. Put yourself on the ground, on action. Make sure that you balance your work life and your family life to avoid any sort of conflict. Overall, it is a good transit for Aries ascendants, and I wish you the very best. Let's talk about Taurus ascendants. For Taurus ascendants, Sun becomes the fourth lord, and the fourth lord is making a transit in your first house, in your ascendant sign, your own self. From the first house, Sun is aspecting the seventh house. What does Sun desire by its 100% aspect? It desires marriage, relationship, or a focus to be put back in marriage and relationship. Sun demands dharma. Sun demands loyalty. Sun demands consistency in your relationship. It demands you to put your energy into it, to your partnerships, to your business, and gradually expand this as well. During this period, you might also receive a lot of support from other people if Sun is placed strongly in your chart. This is also a Raja Yoga that is being created in the transit, because your fourth lord, a Kendra lord, is making a transit in an important trine, which is the first house, which is also a Kendra as well as a trine. The key message for this transit for Taurus ascendants is that it is time for you to find your soul level happiness, what makes you content, because Sun is the significator of the soul. It is the Karaka for the first house. It is the significator for the Lagna. It's all about happiness, it's all about satisfaction, and it is at a soul level, might not be really at a physical level. So this is also a time wherein you might have to put a lot of focus back into your personality, understand your strengths, and build on some of those strengths that you can leverage from in your day-to-day working relationships. Since Sun is making a transit in your Lagna itself, you need to ensure that throughout this month you consume a lot of liquids, fruits, water, and juices in any form of liquids or milk. This way you will be able to balance some of those energies, and you should be able to maintain a lot of calm and composure. During this transit, your first house, your 12th house, and your 9th house are likely to deliver positive results. This is an ideal time to offer donations, to give charity. This is also a time wherein you might have to repay a karmic debt if your dasha is supportive of that. This can be overall positive for you, so there is nothing much to be afraid of. It could be some sort of travel for dharmic activities or some sort of connection that you will build with people from different cultures, or you might visit a foreign land. Overall, for Taurus ascendants, I will say it is a positive transit, and during this transit, when Sun is transiting in your ascendant, worship Shiva every day. Worship Lord Shiva. That is the best remedy for you for this month. I wish you the very best. Let's talk about Gemini ascendants. For Gemini ascendants, Sun becomes the third lord, and now it is making a transit in the 12th house. Sun is making an aspect on the 6th house. What does Sun desire here? Sun desires victory. However, this victory might come with some significant amount of challenge. You might have to compete with others. You will face tough waters. However, you will emerge out as the winner. But the initial road, the journey, might be a bit challenging here. Okay, Sun also goes Maran Karaka in the 12th house. Sun is the significator of father figure. So this means that during this transit, your father or some sort of father figure would play an important role, will really go out of the way to support you and help you. So please make sure that you make good use of it. There can also be some sort of plan that you might make for a short-term travel, either during this time or in the next 2 months that you're likely to make. It is also important for you to maintain plenty of patience, because you might get into a situation wherein you feel that you're putting a lot of efforts and these efforts are just wasted. You're not getting the result, you're not getting the outcome. Wait for Sun to make this complete transit and then move to your ascendant in the mid of June. And that is the time when you will start to see the results of your efforts that you're going to put over the next 30 days. One of the remedy that I will suggest to Geminis is to offer water to the Sun every day during this transit. Now, the houses that are going to experience positive results in your chart is the 11th house, it is the 12th house, and it is the 8th house. Okay, so what is the kind of message that this transit is giving? So this is an ultimate time for spirituality. First of all, giving or offering donations. Okay, transformation. Be prepared for change. Be prepared for sudden ups or downs during this phase. Overall, it is a mixed transit, but you need to maintain a lot of resilience over the next 30 days for your benefit. I wish you the very best. Let's talk about Cancer ascendants. For Cancer ascendants, Sun becomes your second house lord and it is making a transit in the 11th house. From the 11th house, it is going to aspect the 5th house. What does Sun desire here? Sun desires concern for future, concern towards children, towards the kingdom or the Rajya, some sort of elevation, some sort of upliftment, some sort of promotion or growth is what Sun desires during this phase. And the second lord making a transit in the 11th house is a powerful Dhan Yoga in this transit. In some of my previous videos on other planetary transits, I have mentioned some very positive effects for Cancer ascendants, particularly between May and June. So these 2 months are supposedly quite promising if you are going through a favorable or a positive dasha, antardasha and the pratyanter dasha during this phase. So you might need to make the most of these 2 months. This is the time for expansion, expanding your network, making new friends, connecting with people, having possessions in place, creating a secondary source of income or some sort of an incentive that you're likely to receive. There's a very strong probability during this transit. This is also the time for you to plan for the future, set certain goals for yourself for the next 7 to 8 months that you would like to achieve, and you will do it with 100% conviction. During this transit, the houses that are going to have a positive impact is your 10th house, your 11th house and your 7th house. People who have their own businesses, this is an excellent time for expansion, for gains, and putting a lot of actions, workplace recognition, promotions, elevation, growth. It's quite an expansive time. If Sun is placed positively in your chart, make the most of this transit, worship the Sun God every day, offer water to the Sun, and you will be blessed during this transit. I wish you the very best, Cancer Ascendants. Now let's talk about Leo Ascendants. For Leo Ascendants, Sun is a very important planet because it is your Lagna Lord. It rules your first house, and now it is making a transit in the 10th house. 10th house is a very important Kendra, and it is your Lagna Lord. This is going to aspect the 4th house from here. Now, what does Sun desire? Sun desires happiness, happiness at the level of your soul, the soul level happiness, care or concern towards your mother, support from the public, some sort of authority towards other people. And in this position, when Sun is transiting in the 10th house, it gains directional strength in the 10th house. It is Digbali. That means there is blessings of the Digbala Devata. So you need to make the most of it. Over the last few weeks or months, it has been quite stressful for the Leo Ascendants with regards to delays or denial or some sort of a difficult transformation they might have been going through, because Saturn is in the 7th house aspecting the Lagna all throughout the time. Okay, so this is the sign of relief. So the efforts that you have been putting over a while, now you're going to see some sort of results and actions for these efforts. You are likely to become a better person during this transit. This is the time to really overcome the uncertainty or the stress that you might have had over the last few weeks and look at the positive light. You are likely to get clarity of your thoughts, and when your thoughts are clear, your actions are going to be firm with a lot of conviction. When your actions are clear, you are going to reach towards your destiny, towards your goals in a very nice manner, in a very effective manner. This will also give you a lot of determination to act, and the time is now. During this transit, your 9th house, 10th house and the 6th house are going to deliver positive results. 9th house of Dharma, 10th house of Karma, and 6th house of daily routines. So in your daily routine, you have your Dharma and Karma being pretty much active. Follow your Dharma, practice spirituality. This will help you remove some of the negative thoughts as well that often would come in your mind, and stay focused towards your goals. One of the remedies that Leo Ascendants need at this time is Gayatri Mantra. Do that every day 108 times. This will help you strengthen and channelize positive thoughts in a manner that will reflect in your actions every day. It is a promising transit for Leo Ascendants, and I wish you the very best. Now let's talk about Virgo Ascendants. For Virgo Ascendants, Sun becomes the ruler of the 12th house, and it is making the transit in your 9th house, which is an important trinal house. From here, Sun is aspecting the 3rd house. What does Sun desire? Sun desires change, because any change is triggered from the 3rd house. Change in yourself. This time, Sun also desires a lot of efforts that you need to put in what you do. It desires short-term travel. It also desires communication and learning, which will go hand in hand during this time period. What is the kind of message for Virgo Ascendants? The message for you is to bring in a shift in your thinking. You are likely to bring in a big shift in your thinking and be more liberal in your approach. Liberal towards dharma, towards religion, respecting other people, respect for other cultures. This is something which you might develop over the next 1 month or so if your dasha is supportive. You are also likely to take some steps which are against the society. You were to break the norms. You will go against the usual norms set by the people. You might have to go against some of your people as well, because what you feel you are doing is right. So you are towards the path of righteousness. So this will cause a big shift in your overall thinking and your action. During this time, you might also get certain support from your foreign connections, or you might have a foreign travel or a journey. For those looking to settle abroad or have a permanent residency or a PR, this is a positive transit if your dasha is supportive. Now the houses it will bring positive results are the 8th house, 9th house and the 5th house. So what does it really mean? This signifies some sort of karmic ups and downs. Why these karmic ups and downs are likely to happen? To ensure that you become a stronger and a better person. You change for good. The first week, 10 days, I see some sort of initial struggle that is likely to get better with time, and you're likely to gain more strength, more courage. I would say this is a mixed transit for Virgo ascendants. Stay patient, give it some time, and you will come out with flying colors. I wish you the very best. Now let's talk about Libra ascendants. For Libra ascendants, Sun rules the 11th house of gains. Now it is making a transit in the 8th house. 8th house of uncertainty, sudden ups and downs, transformation, and also hidden knowledge. From here, Sun is going to aspect the 2nd house. What does Sun desire? Sun desires concern towards family, concern towards your income, your saving, what you eat, what you consume. You have to be conscious about it for the next 1 month for your own benefit. So the message of this transit is that in order to gain, you need to transform, you need to change. This time period might also give you some sort of unexpected gain. Now this gain could be due to inheritance or due to a sudden change or a shift of energies. There will also be a lot of tendency towards learning something that is hidden, or you might get into a research or to learn occult, mysticism, Jyotish during this time period. You might also go on a search for mental peace, and for this you would need solitude. Spend time with your own self, introspect, reflect, think deep, meditate. That is the absolute remedy for Libra ascendants for the next 1 month, is to control and have power on your thoughts, because if you think good, you are going to do good. Another remedy: wake up either before sunrise or around the sunrise time. Do not sleep till late. The houses that are going to deliver positive results for you is the 7th house, 8th house and the 4th house. What does it really mean? This means some sort of transformation in your relationships. You might develop some kind of understanding, or you might change yourself to work things out in your relationship. Why? To achieve happiness and satisfaction and have a peaceful environment at your home. So this is going to be the focus for the next 1 month. I would say it is a mixed transit for Libra ascendants, and if you do these remedies, it is going to be beneficial for you towards the end. I wish you the very best. Let's talk about Scorpio ascendants. For Scorpio ascendants, Sun rules an important house, which is your 10th house. Your 10th house of work, actions in the society, profession. And Sun is making a transit in your 7th house of relationships, marriage, partnership, other people. From here, Sun is going to aspect your ascendant. What does Sun desire? Sun desires that you take care of yourself, you build your immunity, you build your stamina, you take care of your body, your daily routine, what you eat, your overall well-being. So that is the key message for this transit. This is something which you have to be quite careful of. Okay. Now, overall, it is a positive transit because your 10th house Lord is moving into the 7th house. Lord of work into the house of relationships, partnerships, businesses. So you're likely to get favors from other people either at your workplace, and there will be a constant support of your spouse. However, you might experience certain issues with regards to your relationship, some things that you might need to change or try to put your focus on improving things. But if you're able to do that, there will be a great support over the next few months. This could also be a promising time to start a new business or a venture if your dasha is supportive, because initiation is in your favor. you are likely to get access to resources that you need for your work. There are also likely work gains because 7th is 10th from the 10th. Okay, so from a Bhavad Bhavam perspective, it is quite positive. During this transit, your 6th house, 7th house, and 3rd house are likely to witness positive results, which means that your efforts are going to be accounted for. You put efforts, you will surpass competition, you will build connections, you will build associations and partnerships which will be beneficial for you. I would say that this is a beneficial transit for Scorpio ascendants, and I wish you the very best. Now let's talk about Sagittarius ascendants. For Sagittarius ascendants, Sun rules the 9th house, an important trinal house of dharma, religion, fortune, father, and higher learning, and is making a transit in your 6th house. Okay, now from the 6th house, Sun is aspecting the 12th house. What does this Sun desire during transit? This Sun desires spirituality. This Sun desires that you put a lot of focus on your sleep, on your well-being, on your health, and focus on helping others, giving donations, because that is a better practice other than being in confined spaces. Now the Lord of your Dharma, Lord of the fortune, is making a transit in the house of daily routines, which means that you need to practice your Dharma every day. You need to make that a daily routine over the next 30 days. You need to invest your time and energy in dharmic activities, in religious activities, or in higher learning. Why higher learning? Because this is how you will gain intelligence. You will be able to elevate yourself and become more wise and intelligent, which will help you to excel in anything that you do. One of the things that Sagittarius ascendants need to be mindful of is that avoid shortcuts. There are no shortcuts. This is also the time to declutter, to clean your surroundings, to clean your household. Take away the old or the useless stuff. Either give it away in charity or just discard those things. The other remedy that you can do during this time is to donate in either a temple or a gurdwara, or go there, help people, do some seva, work for the society. During this transit, your 5th house, your 6th house, and 2nd house are going to witness positive results. What does this mean? This means that there is a victory in the future. However, this victory will come after some sort of struggle. And what are you looking at? You're looking at wealth, income, and support towards your family. So those are your focus areas where you can get benefited from the transit of Sun. Overall, I would say this is a mixed transit. Make sure that you offer water to the Sun every day without fail during the next 30 days, which will help you stay calm as well and composed. I wish you the very best. Now let's talk about Capricorn ascendants. For Capricorns, Sun is the ruler of the 8th house. 8th house of longevity, secret knowledge, hidden knowledge, transformation, sudden ups and downs. And now this is making a transit in the 5th house. 5th house of future, of children, speculation, 5th house of creativity, and also the kingdom, as we discussed earlier. From the 5th house, Sun is going to aspect the 11th house, which means Sun desires expansion. Sun desires gains. What kind of gains? Gains in terms of knowledge. That is the real wealth. Sun also desires that you expand your network, because towards the end, your network is your net worth. So that will be very crucial during this time period. You are likely to influence other people and leave a positive, long-lasting impression. When the 8th Lord makes a transit in the 5th house, it is also likely that the person develops an interest in Jyotish or Vedic studies. Okay, so you might want to pick up either Bhagavad Gita or any of the Vedic textures or any of the ancient scriptures that you might be interested in. At workplace, you might encounter a situation wherein you have some differences with either your bosses or your seniors, but these differences will just be temporary. Okay, sometimes conflict is good. You need to stick to your ground. You need to stick to your thoughts and do what you feel is right, because integrity will be essential during this transit. So even if you have opposition with people, deal it with a lot of courage. And for the moment, if you have to stay low key as well, there is no harm in doing that for the next few days. One of the remedies for Capricorn ascendants is that since it's transiting in your 5th house, which is also the mantra bhava, if your 5th house is positively influenced or your 5th house lord is positively placed, practice chanting mantra. 5th house is also related to Lord Shiva. So any Shiva mantra would be good. A simple Om Namah Shivaya every day should be very good for you during this transit. During this time, your 4th house, 5th house and the 1st house are going to experience positive results. What does this indicate? This indicates happy space, a happy soul, because it's about 4th and the 1st house. And why is it? To become a better person in the future. Because if you become a better person, you will make better decisions. You will be wise in terms of making decisions. Overall, I would say it is a mixed transit, but then it is aiming at making you a better person. I wish you the very best. Let's talk about Aquarius ascendants. For Aquarius ascendants, Sun rules the 7th house of marriage, partnership, relationship, business, and now it is making transit in the 4th house. 4th house of happiness, of comfort. It is the Sukh Bhava. It is also the house of the mother. It is the place wherein you feel most comfortable, which is at home. From the 4th house, Sun is aspecting your 10th house, which means it desires work, it desires action. It wants you to be on the ground, on your toes. Stay as active as you can throughout this transit. There is no space for laziness. There is no scope for lethargy. I know Saturn's transiting in your ascendant, but it's time for you to rise up and move around, and that is what Sun desires during this transit. This is the time wherein you might find soul level happiness in your relationship, something that you have been aiming for a long time, if Sun is strongly placed in your chart or if it is linked to any of your current mahadashas. This is the time to uplift your mood, not be in a sad state but in a happy state. There is no place for grief now, but it is only brightness that is across the door. Remember one thing, that when Sun is in the 4th house, it is generally weak because it loses its directional strength, because it is opposite to the 10th house. So this is where you need to strengthen your Lagna Lord, which is Saturn. So this time period demands a lot of discipline and consistency in what you're doing. So if you wake up at a certain time, make sure that you wake up on that time. Have a routine, work out, exercise, keep yourself hydrated. That is extremely important during this transit. Your 3rd house, your 4th house and the 12th house are going to experience positive results, which means that this is time to not only to learn but to practice spirituality, to uplift your mood through meditation, through yoga, through spiritual practices, which are going to bring a positive change in your life and help you overcome any setbacks that you might experience. Discipline is the key, learning is the key, consistency is the key. Overall, I think it is a good transit for Aquarius ascendants, and I wish you the very best. Now let's talk about Pisces ascendants. For Pisces, Sun rules the 6th house and it is making a transit in the 3rd house. Okay, from the 3rd house, it is aspecting the 9th house. What does Sun desire here? Sun desires relationship, dharma, higher learning, concern and care towards father, support of your father or support towards your father. This is what Sun desires. Your 6th Lord, the Lord of daily routines, the Lord of job, the Lord of competition, the Lord of struggles, the Lord of health, is making a transit in your 3rd house. This is time for you to put your focus on your health, on a change in your lifestyle, a drastic change that you might want to bring for your own benefit, so that the next few months you can cope up and have a lot of positivity in your life. For this, I would also advise that you follow any remedy related to Jupiter, your Lagna Lord. Strengthen your Jupiter. So this could be either by consuming yellow pulses or turmeric, which is haldi. So you can add in a cup of milk and consume it every day. This is also a time to take some teachings from your guru or the mentor, because third house is also the house of Guru Upadesha. This is where you get some real teachings from a mentor or a teacher or a guru. A very good time to upskill yourself, and upskilling in terms of doing something where your hands are involved. For example, if you like creative things such as painting, arts, where your hands are involved as well. So this could be quite beneficial for you for your overall well-being and mental peace. This time period, your second house, your third house, and your 11th house are going to witness positive results. So there is some sort of change when it comes to your financial management or your income. So that is likely to undergo certain change. Whether it will be a good change or a bad change, that really depends on your current mahadasha. But I see this as a positive change, because this is where the focus is going to be. So if you're conscious in terms of decision making, if you manage your investments and your savings well, you are likely to have a secure future. Overall, I say it is a mixed transit for Pisces ascendants, but I wish you the very best. So this was my video on Sun's transit in the sign of Taurus. If you like this video, please subscribe to my channel, hit the bell icon. With your encouragement, I continue to make more videos every week for you and share every little knowledge that I have. In case you wish to book a consultation, you can reach out to me via my website. You can see the link to my website in the comment section. I wish you the very best, and may Lord Surya, Bhagwan Surya, continues to bless us with all his light and brightness. Thank you.